You are now tuned in to Two Studs in a Pod with the dynamic duo of Blaze and Meech, a weekly podcast offering a candid glimpse into the world of super terrific Uber Dykes, better known as studs. This week we're talking about studs. You know, the Jordan wearing, strap slinging, masculine of center, queer women of color, bringing joy to women around the world, maybe even your girl. We're defining what it means to be a stud, where the term came from, and how great it is to be a super terrific Uber Dyke. Let's get into it. Meech, drop the beat. Hello, and welcome to Two Studs in a Pod. It's a celebration, bitches. Today we are celebrating our very first episode, and we're starting off on one of our favorite topics, studs. Before we get started, let's get into a brief intro into who we are. I am Blaze, a 36-year-old stud originally from Miami, born and raised, now residing in the land of the mouse, Orlando, Florida, where I live with my partner of 8 years and a mommy daddy to our 2 cats. My house is full of pussy, and I like it. I've been out since high school. I can say that I've been a super terrific Uber Dyke for so long that you'd be hard pressed to find a picture of me in a dress. I'm here to share my eccentric journey while having fun discussing different topics and telling stories about what it's been like and what it is like navigating through the world as a stud. Overall, I hope you not only find what we have to share entertaining, but informative as well. Along for the ride with me, offering her own distinct perspective, the other stud in the pod, my longtime homie Meech. Meech, why don't you tell the people a little bit about yourself?
Yo, what's good, podcast world? It's the homie Meech, the second stud in the pod, repping New York, born and raised. Spent a couple years in the DMV, shout out to DC, Maryland, and Virginia, and gave the 305 a decade of my life, from 2009 to 2019. I have to say I've taken a bit from each city, but aside from being raised in Long Island, Miami forced me to grow the fuck up. I officially came out, fell in love with a stripper or two, King of Diamonds Monday. Had some of
Hey.
hey, had some of the wildest, craziest, and dopest experiences of my life. It wasn't all fun and games though. I had some good times, some bad times. So stay tuned for some of those stories to come. But now I've finally settled down and found love back in the Big Apple, where I'm adjusting to the domestic life and freezing my ass off.
Yo, yes, I don't envy you at all, man. That's no thank you. That is not the life I'm trying to live at all.
Man, I'm ready to get back.
Yeah, you trust me. It's nice and warm here too. I'm in shorts and a t-shirt. Please believe. I don't. I am not one with the snow at all. Well, let's get into it. Today, our topic of the day is studs, a topic that we know very well because we are
Yes,
studs.
sir.
So, Meech, what's your definition of being a stud?
Masculine presenting. These are like to rock my sneakers, my Timbs, of course, because I'm back in New York. Um, fitteds, book bags, and being, the more dominant one in the relationship. What about you?
Um, to me, it's the same thing. I mean, there's no Tim's really, not a Florida thing so much, but heavy into the J's, definitely boxer briefs. Slanging the strap around, giving it to
Facts.
the ladies when I can. I mean, obviously, I've been in a relationship for 8 years, so
the one lady. Don't get killed.
yes, give it to the lady when I can. Uh, but definitely the most dominant, door opening, the gentlewoman of the
Yes,
relationship. At least that's how I see it.
definitely,
Uh,
definitely.
for reasons of this podcast, I happen to look up the official definition, according to Michigan State University, anyway,
Okay.
of what a stud is. And in their book, the definition of a stud is an African American and or Latina masculine lesbian. This
Okay.
term was created
Check,
to
check.
separate from the term butch, which is mainly used to describe masculine Caucasian women.
Got you.
So, how do you feel? Do you feel like that describes you? Because technically, they're just saying we're butches but black. And for when I was growing up, I mean, the term butch just never really felt like it fit me. But How do you feel about the term stud?
Yeah, I feel like it fits. Definitely. I don't like relate to the term butch. To me, stud is me. Is masculine presenting, boxer brief wearing, basketball shorts,
Right,
slides,
J's,
J's.
beaters,
Exactly. So
yeah, shortcuts, braids.
yeah,
Yeah,
going to the
definitely.
barbershop, getting the tape as they say in Miami, the shape up as they say up here. You know
Yeah, the lineup, getting a lineup. Yeah,
exactly,
definitely. Definitely. Obviously, carrying around a book bag so that you have a little strap,
exactly. Definitely got the book bag.
some strap luggage. I mean, masculine, I guess, more so in the terms to me as in the way that I dress,
Yeah,
because there's some things possibly that I do that are relatable to that of being a dude, but I'm not a dude,
definitely not.
and I don't think that to me just the term bush always was harder. It was just more, it just didn't describe me. It just didn't feel like what I was. I didn't feel like I was a butch.
Yeah.
Have you ever been referred to as a butch, or would you ever have considered yourself a butch before learning about the term stud?
Actually, no. I think hearing the term butch, I didn't really identify with it. I think that's kind of what kept me in the closet a little bit longer was because the term butch didn't feel like it fit me.
I don't know. It's just there. Even though that's the same thing technically, to me, it's just so it was so different. Like the word stud just fit a lot better.
If I have to define myself, then I'll be a stud.
Right. Like if I have to use a label, if there's a label that I have to choose, and since this world is just so consumed with labels, apparently, then the label that I choose for myself is definitely stud.
Yeah, I agree.
Just because to me, a stud is like the gentlewoman in the relationship, the one that opens the door, or, I mean, unfortunately or fortunately, is the one that's more so prone to pay for things, or be the one to kill the bug
Right.
when
Definitely killing them
when the bug
spider.
comes in the house, like, right, or kill the spider, definitely. Like that's what you're prone to do. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like I don't know why it's like that, but it seems natural,
Yeah.
and it is just it's possibly because that's the way we've seen masculinity portrayed for our whole lives. But I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, it feels natural. Um,
Also, it's just me who I was. Like growing up, I was into basketball and, being outside and following behind my brother,
hmm
wanting to do those things
hmm
instead of really things that femmes,
the
yeah,
girly
are
stuff,
more prone to be
yeah.
doing. So, but,
Like I can, like I said, I came out in high school, so for the longest time, I've always been like this. Like it's never been like a phase for me. Like I can't remember a time. It's easier for me to actually remember the time that I did try to not be who I am, and who I've always been for like a brief one summer that that actually that was anything different. Like I've always been like this. Like pictures as far back, like my girl jokes that even in my baby picture, even though they had me in that little bassinet, I don't know, some kind of dressy dress, like I was literally a carry around
uh,
baby, right? That's the only picture I might have. And even then she was like, you could tell you were like a little tomboy then,
yeah,
like, and I was probably like 3
right.
months old, you know
Three
what I'm saying?
months. She's doing the most.
But yeah, and so this hasn't ever been like a phase. It's just always been like a
Right.
thing. And I guess I just didn't know it could be a thing until I got
Yeah,
older and
exactly.
I realized that I wasn't like off,
Yeah,
there's other people
right.
like me. And to find a term that kind of described that was, I mean, that even like felt better, like you just felt like there's other people
Right.
like you. You found a
Yeah, I
community.
felt like when I heard the term stutter, I'm like, okay. It's not, it doesn't
Right.
mean like I'm trying to be a dude, or anything.
Right. Because
I just,
right.
it's just
Right.
how I dress, and certain things that I'm interested in that might be considered masculine. So
Yeah, I definitely get that. And I mean, shopping for, I just like men's
yeah,
clothes. Like to me, they're just better. It's easier. It's
Right.
way easier to get a fit off. To me anyway,
You don't have to
and
worry
it's just
about.
more comfortable. I mean, why do you think they're always stealing your
Yeah. Oh
clothes
yeah,
anyway?
it's definitely
They're just more
hoodie
comfortable.
stealing season up
Yeah.
here.
Oh man. Well, down here a little bit
Yeah.
too. Like a couple days out the
Oh,
week, it's hoodie.
okay.
It's hoodie
Stealing
stealing
my
season.
t-shirts and my fitteds too. Like,
Plus, to me, right, and that's like another aspect of being a stud. Like you have the clothes. You're not gonna wear
yeah,
her
definitely
clothes.
not.
Like it's not. It doesn't work in that. It doesn't work in that reverse. But as a stud, you just feel like because of what goes with that label that we've always known of what a stud is. That's you giving up your hoodie for your girl when she's
Facts.
cold, or having the hoodie for her to
Facts.
steal in the first
I
place.
keep an extra one in the trunk. I don't want to be cold.
Yeah, or try to buy them their own,
Right.
but they still
Right.
they still end up stealing yours. But you know, so yeah, man. I mean, that's definitely like the J, just even the J's alone, just the things that you like, and that's part. Those are the things that are great about being a stud. Also, being able to go to the restroom
Yes.
a lot easier, at least for someone like myself with the shorter hair. Definitely, I get served all the
Mhm.
time. Like I get served by my own people. Even that's how sorry I am, I guess, to the outside world. But uh yeah, like we can both have to go to the restroom at the same time, and the men's line is always shorter or faster, or it's just easier for me to go into the restroom. And I mean, the only times I really have an issue is if there's no stalls, which there's at least one,
Right.
and hopefully, you know there's nobody in there doing, doing crazy things.
Hopefully.
But uh it is what it is. Like I can go 2 or 3 times usually before she even gets into the stall. Like, I'm always waiting for her to come out, which is weird, and it's not unique to stud femme relationships. I think a lot of dudes that we know probably have a similar experience
Yeah.
in that. I don't know. It's probably different for you
Yeah.
because you're not
It's
really.
definitely different for me because I have the longer hair. But when I do go, like the tough thing is when I go into the women's restroom and they look at
Mm,
me like I'm
mm,
in the wrong room, and I'm like, clearly I'm not in the wrong
right.
restroom, and I know how to read. Like I'm not an idiot.
Like I don't know about you, but I got in here myself. I'm sure
Yeah,
I can read.
or at least
Yeah,
figure
I
out the
mean
picture.
but that's also comes with the downfall of being a stud is people thinking you want to be a dude
Right,
because of how you
right,
dress, and then dudes being offended that you like someone, that looks like you more so doesn't want to mess with them.
right.
Or I mean, I've had it where a guy was down. He was so down when he heard his girl wanted to mess with a girl, but then when he realized that girl was
Oh
me,
yeah,
he was like, "Oh no."
yeah. That's gonna be another topic for another day too.
Oh yes, trust me. That one led to some root tooting shooting. Okay,
Oh man,
almost like your boy.
I told y'all we had stories. I told y'all. Stay tuned.
Trust me. Yes, that one lives vividly in my mind, and it's been a while since I had to deal with anything like that.
Yeah,
But I mean, and we don't have to worry about getting anybody pregnant
exactly.
because if we did,
We have some plastic ass
I
kids,
would
bro.
have some for real. It might be some little green army men that got my DNA popping.
No DNA.
Yeah. Oh
We gonna
man.
be on a
Yes.
war.
Lord have mercy. Yeah, definitely a benefit of being a stud. Like you get some of that. You get some of that masculine, what guys get away with all the
Right,
time. You get some of that just by proxy. Maybe not 100%, but I definitely feel like the public like deals with me different. Like it's just a unique experience being a
right.
stud because you your gayness is just out there for the world to
And
see
judge.
with no right with no filter.
Right.
So you never know what people are thinking about you, or if they even are thinking about you.
I think, hopefully nowadays, especially in New York, people are kind of used to it. Not all people, but
I mean, it's not like we're not bumping into people who are trying to At least not in our face saying crazy
Yeah.
things. I used to have like issues because no, I know that I'm a stud, but now I realize more and more that people in the public don't know what a stud is, or they just see me as a dude.
Right.
So when I am with my partner and we're out, I used to be more concerned about like holding hands and doing things like that because they might, people around me might have something to say, and then next thing you know, now we got a
Yeah.
problem because I am from Miami. We crazy.
Yep. Crazy
So
people come from Florida and the Bronx.
hey, so yeah, now that I realize that they don't really know what a stud is, or they don't see me as a stud, they're more so looking for like the butches that they see on TV. I think that now they probably think we're probably in a heterosexual relationship, and they're not even looking at us
Nah.
twice. I know that I found it even just comparing notes with like my feminine friends, both heterosexual and gay, even just like comparing life day to day things with my girl, that there are definitely benefits to being a stud. Like just being able to get dressed even quicker. Like
Facts.
yeah, I don't want to do my hair, or even just when we're going out. Like I'm even if I start after, I'm usually done first.
Definitely.
Don't have to worry about makeup and uh, things like that. And I don't know how these girls walk in these heels. That is not look like. I mean, they look
Yeah,
great. Don't get me
definitely. I
wrong.
love the heels.
It's like wait, those things straight on. But so, I just thought of another con. This is the funny
Oh,
con. Is like when you're in the restaurant and they bring the check and you're the stud, they automatically think you just gonna
yeah.
pay. And I'm like, hold on now. Homegirl got
She
money.
sure does.
Okay. Why she can't be taking me out? Like, this is a lesbian
Facts.
relationship. Okay, 50-50. I don't know where you getting this bring the check over here because I'm wearing pants bullshit. But
Go ahead and slide that to the other side of the table,
for real, I'm like, you got this,
especially at the
okay?
fancy restaurants.
Yes. Like our anniversary, man. Shoot, that bill came and I was like, what?
I can only imagine.
Oh, like you about to do something strange for some change, girl.
Yo, that's a fact.
Oh man. Like we going definitely doing something because this bill calls for something to be done.
Oh man.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't mind that part. You know,
Yeah.
I just
It's funny just to see that they bring it
yeah,
to
it's just,
us,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean, and you also just get a lot of stuff paying and lifting things, and I'm
Yeah.
like, why? What makes you think that I can lift that? Like, I need some help,
Man,
man.
killing bugs.
Oh yeah,
Always got to kill spiders. Thank God I'm not scared of bugs.
yes, that's definitely a plus. And if I was, I just have to get over
Yeah.
it
You
because
just got to suck it up.
right, one of us has to do it, and I'm sure her screaming, crying, jump on top of the counter
Right.
herself is not going to be the one.
Yeah, I can't front. When I first moved to Florida, I was scared of the little lizards.
Yeah,
One of my femme
we used to
homegirls
catch
used to
those.
have to come get them for me.
Oh no.
I was like, oh,
I remember when we first moved here, there was a spider that got inside, and she's like, baby, come get the spider. It's huge. And this thing, I finally get it to come out from underneath the sofa. And when you see this spider, it was so tiny. I'm like, if this spider scares you,
yeah. Just
you
wait.
had a long time coming, okay?
When I was up there, it was like a snake trail in my grass. Because I had waited to cut
Mm,
it. I was like, see, I don't do those. I don't do snakes. I don't do
mm.
lizards. I don't do
Well,
frogs.
we've seen snakes cut in the grass.
Yeah.
That was that's another like I cut in the grass. I got to deal with the weed whacker.
Yeah.
What if a snake does come inside?
That's
I'm
what
gonna have to get that.
call the
I'm not
exterminator.
scared of snakes per se. My bad. What'd you say?
So I'm gonna have to call the exterminator. I'm not doing that. We both gonna be on the couch.
Oh, for real.
There's just some things I won't do.
But I will carry that snake in my backpack. Well, you know what's really funny is that the word stud has many definitions, not just the definition that we've adopted. You know, stud is considered the top-notch athlete. You know, they refer to Dwayne Wade and LeBron James as studs
Right.
when they were coming up. And a stud is also like a horse that is the one that's used to like make the other horses. You know, that's like the king dingaling of horses on the
Oh,
farm.
yeah.
So I guess that's actually why that really fits. You know, like that word is definitely
Right.
fitting.
It does.
Cracking ourselves up here.
Oh
All
man.
right.
Yes. Stay tuned for more of that.
So we're gonna end here on the king dingaling. We're gonna end here. I hope you've enjoyed our little edition of what a stud is to us. If you need more stud in your life, you can find us on IG and Twitter at Two Studs in a Pod, where we're providing stud-centric content. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to shoot us an email, reach out to us at twostudsinapod@gmail.com. That's TWO studsinapod@gmail.com. We may even select your question or comment to share on an upcoming episode. Two Studs in a Pod is available wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to tune in next episode where we'll be talking about dodging baby daddies like a pro and learning that women with ex-husbands might be a no-no.
Oh yes. Thanks for tuning in.
See you next time.